White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt is here. All right, Karoline, it does appear to be sabotage with the escalator and the teleprompter. What is the White House going to do about that?
Well, Jesse, that's definitely what it appears to be to me, and that's why I put out a statement earlier. There was some concerning reporting over the weekend from the London Times, as you pointed out, that UN globalist staffers were basically plotting to set up the President of the United States. And first it was the escalator, then it was the teleprompter, and then Katie Pavlich from Town Hall, who we offered a seat in the press pool to cover the President's historic speech today, noticed that the audio inside of the room was much lower and different for the President of the United States than the previous speaker. So when you put all of this together, it doesn't look like a coincidence to me. And I know that we have people, including the United States Secret Service, who are looking into this to try to get to the bottom of it. And if we find that these were UN staffers who were purposefully trying to trip up, literally trip up, the President and the First Lady of the United States, well, there better be accountability for those people. And I will personally see to it, Jesse.
Good. The President was blunt, very blunt today. It was definitely useful because these people have to get their act together. Do you think the UN heard the President loud and clear?
Absolutely. In fact, the room was absolutely packed to the walls. Every single leader showed up for President Trump's speech today, and they heard him loud and clear. And I am proud to work for President Trump every day, Jesse, but I was especially proud watching the President of the United States of America bring common sense to an organization that has made no sense for far too long. And the President gave some tough love. He said, "You are all destroying your own countries, and the United States of America was just being destroyed by one of your own." He took one of your own, a globalist in Joe Biden, who had no idea what he was doing. The President took a sledgehammer to the failing globalist world order. He talked about how all of these countries need to have pride in themselves like we do here in the United States of America. They should be proud of their own heritage and culture. And Japan is beautiful, and Italy is beautiful, and the UK is beautiful because they all have their own unique history and culture and heritage, and they need to protect that, just like we are doing here in the United States of America. And how do you protect yourself? How do you make sure that you are a sovereign state, not just being a decaying nation state because of the globalist world order? You have strong borders and a robust domestic energy production and law and order within your own country. Those are all things the President is obviously doing here, and it was so great to see him just speak truth to power in front of the entire world today in New York City.
And he called Putin a paper tiger. Was there anything that kind of helped him shift that position? Because that is a big change in posture.
Well, look, President Trump has been very clear that he's been increasingly frustrated with both sides of this war for a very long time. But most recently, he's been incredibly frustrated with President Putin and Russia, who continue to talk nice, but then we wake up every morning and in the West Wing, we're receiving reports about how Russia bombed Ukraine and they continue to kill innocent civilians. And the President is making it very clear that Russia is in a very weak position, and he's absolutely right. They are a massive country with a massive military. They are a war economy. But it's been 3.5 years, and look at how Ukraine has been able to defend itself. And so the President has said that we are going to continue selling weapons to NATO, and NATO and Ukraine can choose how to use those weapons. But the way that this weapon arrangement has now taken place under President Trump is putting America first, because we are selling these weapons to Ukraine and to NATO, and NATO is backfilling those weapons to Ukraine. So the American taxpayer is benefiting from this. That's a change and a shift in position from the Biden administration. But the President has said, if Vladimir Putin wants to keep fighting, well, the President knows how to fight. But ultimately, always, Jesse, the President has wanted peace. He's wanted this war to come to an end, and he's made that very clear since he came into office in January.
All right, Karoline, thank you very much. And let me know when you get the names of these saboteurs of the UN. I'd like to send Johnny after them. We appreciate it.
Oh, I will. Thanks, Jesse.